As we all know, Russia has made all sorts of claims to excuse the fact that they have conducted an illegal invasion into a sovereign country, Ukraine, and it's been frustrating. They've claimed that they are attempting to liberate Ukrainians who, of course, don't want Russians to liberate them. They've been fighting against them pretty aggressively. They claim that they want to root out Nazism in Ukraine, which is also pretty crazy since Russia has its own problems with extreme right-wingers and Nazis. And of course, that is not what Russia's trying to do here. And it's been an incredibly frustrating situation to try to figure out what the facts are, what the lies are. So one Ukrainian ambassador decided to make a statement in regard to the Russian gaslighting taking place. Without further ado, let's hear what he had to say.
Those who posted today this text, Foreign Minister Lavrov, the goal of Russia's special military operation is to stop any war that could take place on Ukrainian territory or that could start from there. Russian embassy in London, retweeted by the Russian Foreign Ministry. Let me remind the Russian diplomats that in London, in case of need for mental help, you can dial NHS line 111. Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, that statement by Russia, we are invading we are invading Ukraine to prevent a war in Ukraine. They're doing a war, they're conducting a war against Ukraine as we speak. That's exactly what's happening right now. I mean, this is.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely Orwellian. So there was a reporter that recently left Ukraine and he said the Russians keep putting out propaganda that they're trying to liberate Ukraine. But what I saw was they were annihilating Ukraine.
Yep.
So how do you liberate a country you're annihilating? And it reminds you of course, the famous line from Vietnam, we had to destroy the village in order to save the village. And so aggressive invaders have been using such Orwellian language for a long time. And they've done plenty of that in this invasion. By the way, the Russians say that you are not allowed to use the word war or invasion to describe this in Russia. And if you're a reporter and you get that wrong, you state it factually correct, but politically incorrect language, you will get 15 years in prison.
Yeah, but that censorship, Cenk, is totally fine because the United States also does censorship.
That is what some here in America claim. Wherever they get their source of funding is an interesting question. But are they actual objective journalists? Not anywhere near it. The Russian government is demanding that you call it a military operation and not a war or an invasion. And
as they're shelling cities, as they're destroying hospitals, schools, residential areas, just indiscriminately bombing. Like, look at these videos. They have the audacity to claim that they're doing this to prevent a war in Ukraine. They're carrying out a war against Ukraine. That is what they're doing. More than 1,000 Ukrainian civilians have already died, according to the UN, and that is an undercount. They're being conservative with it. Also consider that millions of Ukrainians have fled the country because of this war. The corridors that were supposed to provide safe exit for Ukrainians looking to evacuate, something that Russia had agreed upon, they've been shelling those safe corridors, killing civilians. That's what they do. And then they gaslight the international community about what they're actually carrying out. No one's buying it. They should seek mental help.
Yeah, they remind me of one more guy, Baghdad Bob. So he was the spokesperson for Saddam Hussein's government. When America invaded, he would do these press conferences out of Baghdad. And it was a tragic situation, but they were the funniest thing you've ever seen. He would say there are no American tanks in Baghdad, as you would see American tanks rolling behind him, okay? He said the Americans are dropping pencils, but the pencils are not pencils, they are bombs. It was such gratuitous lies because the Americans were actually dropping bombs. They didn't need to drop pencils and pretend they were bombs. They were dropping actual bombs. He would make up insane stuff and say it with a straight face every day. And then at the very end, he asked for the American government to rescue him. Oh. Okay.
I forgot about Baghdad Bob.
Oh, okay, so.
That's hard to say, Baghdad Bob.
So Lavrov and all the propagandists, including the people that you see in America doing propaganda on Fox News and other places, and Gray Zone and all those other places pretending to be journalists, they are not at all journalists. So if you see them puppeting and parroting the Orwellian terms of the Russian ambassador or the Russian government about how it's Ukraine's fault, or there is no war in Ukraine, the Russians didn't invade Ukraine. I'm sure it was the Martians or the good folks of Botswana that did it. But mainly, of course, blame us and not the guy who actually started the war, Vladimir Putin. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.